Hi everyone, I'm back, and I wanted to get more content out, but I'm still unfortunately stranded in my small Scottish town, away from all of my equipment, which kind of prevents me from making any gaming content. So I thought it would be nice to maybe take a trip down memory lane and talk about my days as an achievement hunter. So without further ado, here goes. So before the 360 came out, I played games pretty much like any other child. I'd run around aimlessly, looking for things to do, eventually find the right way, and it would take me months and months, and then eventually I'd complete the game. That's pretty much how it goes. Sometimes I wouldn't even complete the game. That was pretty much my PS2 era days. That's kind of how things would go. When the 360 came out, I was really excited to get it. My friends had it. The whole world of Xbox Live was blowing my mind, and I couldn't wait to get a hold of it. Another thing that excited me was the new achievement feature, which came with all of the games. So, I eventually get the Xbox, I get Xbox Live, I get the whole shebang, and then I immediately start getting into achievement hunting. And I mean, really getting into it. So thinking back to kind of like why I started to get into it, I kind of think of it like this. I think when you're playing a game, you need a motivation to keep playing. That's part of the game designer's job, is to keep you motivated, usually in the form of some reward, whether that can be a jigsaw piece, a new car, or an outfit that lets you slaughter people without the law enforcement giving a single fuck. Their job is to give you incentive to want to keep playing and to achieve certain objectives. That's all good and well for me when it's a game that I really enjoy playing, something like Fallout or Red Dead Redemption. I didn't have any problem sinking as much time and 100% in that without the achievements involved. But with the introduction of achievements, I became addicted to unlocking every single one I could. It was something you could collect, and it also had this sort of point value. So as well as satisfying the sort of collector in me, it also satisfied the sort of competitive nature of getting the highest score on something. Suddenly, every single game had a motivation to complete it to its fullest potential, as when it was all done, you could look at that sweet 100% completion screen and it would feel worth it. And honestly, it was great. It means that you could get like hours and hours of gameplay out of games you wouldn't normally have gotten out of. It was little extra things that you wouldn't have done, and it gave you another little task. It meant you would play more of a game that you wouldn't necessarily have paid attention to. Maybe you ended up liking it, but it also meant that you got more out of games that you might have played to death on other systems. There's these new challenges, new objectives set to you by the achievement, which means you get more out of a game you thought you'd got everything out of. And I became hooked on it. Of course, as the years went by, I became more and more obsessed with like every game I got, I had to try. I had to go for it. I was like on these websites every single day, looking up like strategies and guides. I was properly in it. But sort of later on in the 360 era, I kind of, realized I'd lost the point of playing games. It got to the point where I was almost smashing my controller because I was playing as Woody, and I didn't get the gold medal on the carnival game. I'd lost touch with why you're supposed to be playing games in the first place. It'd become very sad. I'd become a sad little man, obsessed with getting virtual gamer points. I don't think there's anything sad with it initially. It's fun to have something to do and to motivate you, but when it gets to the point that you're buying and getting into games solely based on the getting the achievements, then it did become very sad. So I realized I wasn't having fun with it anymore, and I sort of started to fall out of it. So I was near my goal, my milestone, which was 100,000 gamer score. So I reached that, and then I hung up my achievement hunting cape. It also seemed the right time to do so, as it was beginning to the 360 era was beginning to end. The Xbox One was just about to come out. Saying this, I'm more like Danny Glover in Lethal Weapon. I sometimes come out of retirement to do like a game I really like, You know, I have PlayStation. I've always had PlayStation and Xbox, so you know, trophy and achievements. I still do some platinum sometimes, or some 100% achievement lists. You know, but it has to be a game that I really enjoy doing it on, or just give up. Like if I see something and it's like, do this, you know, buy, you know, find 100,000 of these, or do this in 1 minute 30 and my fastest time is like 8 minutes, I'm more likely to surrender and be like, it's just not worth it because it's not fun. To round things off, I figured I'd, you know, go through my sort of Hall of Fame, you know, the lists and games I have the fondest memories of completing, ones that I'm sort of most proud of, I'd say. So, you know, let's go. Okay, so I can't talk about completing achievement lists without talking about Halo Reach. Halo Reach, I would say, is probably my proudest one, just because of the sort of time it took me to do and how into that game I got. It's sort of, when I think of the 360 era, that's sort of my game, is Halo Reach. So, you know, I was looking, when I was making this video, I looked it up. I don't have my game console to hand, it's back in my flat, but I used this website called True Achievements, and it lets you sort of see when you unlock the achievements and stuff. And I realized that, you know, I first unlocked the first achievement for that game in 2010, and I unlocked the last one in 2019. So it was a 9-year journey, which is just, it's almost a decade-long journey to complete that list, which I just find insane. You know, that's more than that's a bigger journey than high school. So, you know, it was long, but you know, I got every single achievement except for one on that game, and I hadn't done the Legendary Alone achievement, and it was, you know, going through uni, I kind of wish I hadn't left it like I did, and I kind of wanted to do it because I sort of done everything on it, even the really nippy multiplayer achievements they're just so annoying to do, but this one single player one I just hadn't managed. So I remembered I'd done like 6 missions and I had like 3 left or something. So one day, me and my good friend Cami, he came over and we sat all night and we did the last 3 missions, despite it crashing on the last one, and I was almost giving up, and we unlocked it. So that's how that 9-year journey ended. So that'll always be up there, is one of the fondest ones. I also got every single achievement on Halo 4, which was, I think it was like 2,000 gamer score. That was like the most I'd ever gotten. It was like, I had to do like so many annoying things on the multiplayer as well, because it was like, I think it was like almost 1,000, I think it is 1,000 G of just DLC achievements alone. So it was just like, some of the stuff you'd have to do was just so annoying. But yeah, I've done that on Legendary Alone. That was, again, that was really nippy. Me and Cameron did that as well, actually. Battlefield 3, that one, again, it's one of those ones that a lot of the proudest ones are ones with like that have these really annoying multiplayer achievements, because it just takes so long to do all like the DLC ones, and you have to do all these crazy things. And I remember, right, there is one of the single player ones in this game, I think it's an achievement called Bullseye, and you have to like, oh wait there, what is it, let me look it up. Okay, yes, you have to do this co-op mission on Battlefield 3 without alerting the enemies, but you know, oh man, it was, you couldn't miss a single shot or you would alert the enemies and you'd have to do the whole thing again. And I remember me and my friend Rory, we took so long to do it, and it was like so difficult because all it took was one of us to miss one of our shots, because you had to coordinate the shots with each other. That was a pain in the ass. Let's see. You know, Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes, that was sort of like the prelude to Phantom Pain. And, you know, I was really excited for Phantom Pain, so I got it, even though I hadn't heard great things about Ground Zeroes, and it was just sort of like a soft demo. But, you know, I really got into Ground Zeroes. Like, I kind of got obsessed with, like, getting the fastest time and doing it, the missions, and I ended up getting all the achievements on that, and you had to get like an S rank on everything, and I managed to do that, which I normally gave up quite easily with stuff like S rank and stuff, because it can be really difficult. But I really had good fun with that one. Portal 2. I remember I got all the achievements on that, and the one that gave me difficulty, the whole thing, I think it was worth nothing. I think it was worth like 15 gamer score or something. It was, you had to do like 4 courses on co-op, the co-op campaign, without either of you or your partner dying. You cannot fall into the slime, or you can't go into the lasers or anything, or get shot by turrets. Nothing. Either of you cannot die for 4 courses, which is a large part of the co-op campaign. So I remember I tried it so much, and it would take so long, because if you die on the 4th course, you have to go back so far to do it again. I remember it was a complete nightmare, and I did it with a complete stranger online. I wish I knew their name or their gamer tag, so I could go back and I wonder where they are now, not knowing that this memory is so anchored in me. Red Dead Redemption. That was a really fun one. I didn't get all the DLC ones, I don't think, because it involved a lot online, and I did play a lot of online, but I didn't buy all the DLC or anything like that. But I did get all the base achievements at what would be the Platinum Trophy on PlayStation. I got 100% game completion, which, I remember I almost got it on the PS3, but the treasure map glitched, so that I never got the treasure hunter, never spawned, the random encounter that gives you the treasure map, so I was stuck on 90-something% completion, and I couldn't do it because I couldn't get the treasure hunter ones. I remember that's annoying to get that glitches, obviously, and also the bounty hunter, you have to catch or do all the bounty hunter, all the possible bounties, and they put you up 0.0025% or something. But that was really fun to do.
God only knows what I'd be without you.
BioShock Infinite. There's a specific achievement in that game. Again, I got all the base ones, but there's one for completing it on 1999 mode, which is essentially the very, very hard, hardcore mode, without using the vending machines in the game, so you can't buy anything at all in your entire playthrough. That was a complete nightmare. I love that game, luckily, so it was enjoyable, and I look back on it fondly, but I think there was a specific point, I think it was the Lady Comstock fight, that it was beginning to break me, and I began to question why I was doing this, because it made me hurt. There were some of my proudest ones. I did have a good time with it for a long while. I just eventually fell out of it, but it is good to have this sort of trophy case to look back on of all your accomplishment in games. But saying that, sometimes you notice things you're a little less proud of, let's say. Also things that I don't even remember happening. Apparently I not only played the 50 Cent game, Bound in Blood, or whatever the hell it's called, but I completed it on hard difficulty setting. Who knew? Not me. I have erased that out of my memory for some reason. But yeah. So I'll be back with another podcast episode on Sunday. I'm gonna try, get back to releasing non-podcast content, despite not having the resources to make gaming content. But I will be back in the flat and uploading some more of that soon. But for now, I'll try to keep it some interesting conversational videos or something like that. But yeah, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you next time.